televisions, computers. We have no internet. We have nothing.
Imagine a day without something.
Yes, imagine a day. Yes. It's hard enough to keep track of your own troops if you are a Union or Confederate general, let alone how do you find out about the movements of the other troops? One way, obviously, is through folks like us. Women, in particular, were highly effective. In this time period, women were thought to be of lesser intelligence. Again, wrong. They felt that we would never undertake daring missions. Again, wrong. We did all of this. We know of several of the more famous spies. Belle Boyd, Rose O'Neal Greenhow. There are hundreds, possibly thousands, that we do not know about. Now, how was information passed? How did we conceal? Just want to tell you a little bit about this. One way, this is an original that was recovered from the state of Alabama. It's a reproduction of an original, excuse me. Cryptology. Cipher. A lot of the methods that were started in the Civil War are still in use today. Coded messages. Think of the wind talkers. What they would do with this is a meaningless series of letters. There was also what's called a cipher wheel. This one's a little cumbersome. There was actually a smaller version that was a wheel. You would have a phrase. Come retribution was one that the South used frequently. A letter would be given, or a message. Again, it looked meaningless to you or I. But if you had that phrase, and you had something like I showed you, or the wheel, each letter, an R was actually an A, let's say. It was tied into the phrase. It would then make perfect sense. The Confederate cipher was never once, the code was never cracked during the whole entire war. Northern code was broken many times. This is one of the ways that information was effectively passed.
Okay, you also bought a lot of your groceries and stuff were in bags. They would take and slip whatever message they needed down into a flour sack or a sugar sack, or this is a pancake mix. They core apples out, put the message in between, put the core back in. That's why you see so many women carrying baskets, because most of their stuff was put in the basket. Some of them had false bottoms. They would put guns in the bottoms of the baskets. And you know, the men back then were very nice men. They would not frisk you, touch you, even look at your ankles or ask you to reveal your ankles, so you knew you had it made there. They would put notes in their hair, in the backs of their hair. They would take apples. They would take eggs and blow them out and slip the messages back down, put them into their basket, and off they go. They had their message. They also would use these in different ways, putting messages in, or put them in some type of waterproof type thing and slip messages in the bottle. A lot of these bottles, though, were used for their underskirts. This would go over top of your hoop. This is an overskirt for hoop. They would put pockets. A lot of the women would do that so that they could put medicine and take it back across the lines when they needed it. They even took bread, cut the bread, put the message in, roll the bread back up, put it in the basket. There were so many ways to transfer messages. Right now, we don't have anybody out here now, but usually we use somebody to come in here and sit among you, and we'll have that person talk to you. And we did it yesterday, and we had 3 girls, and our friend was talking to them. And she talked to the one girl longer than she did the other two because this girl worked in Washington, D.C. You'd be surprised what she found out, what kind of job she did, what it entailed, where she was from, where she was going. People give up information so easily that you can find out anything about anybody, especially the women. Not so much men, but especially the women. Because spy is like a second class. We know what the first class is, right?